Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we're all about breaking down big ideas here. And today, we've got a really good one. We're going to build a blueprint, basically a guide, to completely transform how you connect with other people, using 10 super powerful and practical communication tips.
I mean, have you ever really thought about that? What makes some people just click, while others just kind of fade into the background? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a skill. And that's what we're going to get into today. The science and, the art behind making a powerful first impression that really sticks.
But listen, this isn't just going to be some random list of tips I throw at you. No, we're going to be way more strategic. We're going to build your skills like a pyramid. We'll start with a solid foundation and work our way right up to the top. Think of it as a step-by-step framework to becoming a seriously good communicator.
Okay, you ready? Let's dive right in with the foundation of our pyramid. This is the stuff that happens before you even open your mouth. It's the silent conversation, the one your body is having whether you realize it or not.
You've probably heard this before, but it's so true. Psychologists say those first 7 seconds, man, they are everything when it comes to forming an impression. And in that tiny window, it's not about your words. It's all about your presence, your energy, basically your vibe. That's what's shouting the loudest.
And speaking of vibes, check this out. This is a really cool little rule of thumb. It's called the 50-70 rule for eye contact. So to build trust and really show you're locked in, you want to aim for eye contact about 50% of the time when you're the one talking and bump that up to 70% when you're listening. It's the perfect balance, right? It shows you're present without being, too intense or kind of creepy.
And it's not just your eyes. All these little nonverbal cues add up to make a huge impact. Like standing in a power pose for just a couple of minutes can literally change your brain chemistry to make you feel more confident. And simple things like pointing your body towards someone, that signals you're interested. Oh, and a good, firm 2-second handshake, that sets a tone of respect right from the get-go.
Okay, so let's climb up to the next block of our pyramid. You've set the stage with a positive presence. What's next? Building genuine rapport. This is where we get into how to make other people feel truly seen and, just as importantly, heard.
And really, the core of all human connection comes down to one thing: empathy. This isn't just about hearing someone's words. It's about trying to feel the emotion that's driving those words. That's the real game changer. It's a difference between just seeing what's happening to someone and actually understanding what they're going through.
So here's the crucial difference, right? It's feeling for someone versus feeling with them. Sympathy is kind of like, oh, that's too bad, from a distance. But empathy closes that gap. You're not just nodding along, you're actually connecting with the feeling. And that is how you build real, solid relationships. This is such a simple tip, but it's incredibly powerful. Think about Starbucks, right? They write your name on the cup and shout it out for a reason. It's that tiny little moment of personal connection. When you use someone's name in a conversation, it just shows them, hey, I see you. You're not just another face in the crowd. I value you.
Okay, here's a fantastic little hack for you, especially if you ever feel stuck not knowing what to say next. It's called the echoing technique. You just repeat the last few keywords the other person said. So if they say, I got into wilderness photography, you can just say, wilderness photography? It shows you're listening and it makes it so easy to keep the ball rolling. It's almost like a cheat code for conversation.
All right, so we've got our foundation set with body language and we're building connection with rapport. Now we're moving up to the third level of the pyramid. This is all about how you deliver your message to make a real, lasting impact. And a huge part of that is your voice. I mean, think about it. Your voice is an instrument. You can change your pitch, go higher for excitement, lower for serious moments. You can play with your pace, slowing down for the really important stuff. But maybe the most powerful tool of all? The pause. That little moment of silence. It builds suspense and makes people lean in. It gives your words weight.
Here's a hard truth. People don't remember spreadsheets and bullet points. They remember stories. If you really want your message to stick, don't just throw data at people, wrap it in a story. Our brains are literally wired for narrative. It's how we've made sense of the world for thousands of years. It's how we connect with ideas emotionally.
And you don't have to be a novelist to do it. Here's a super simple model. CAR. Start with the C, conflict. What's the problem or the challenge? Then the action. What steps were taken to solve it? And finally, the result. How did it all turn out? This basic structure is in almost every story you love because it works. It hooks you in and keeps you listening.
Humor is another massive tool for connection. And guess what? It's a skill you can actually practice and get better at. A great way to think about it is looking for the switch. You take a normal, everyday situation, and right at the end, you switch the expectation. You flip the perspective to something surprising or absurd. If you start looking for those opportunities, you'll start finding humor everywhere.
Okay, we are now at the top of our pyramid. This is the pinnacle. This is the mindset that controls everything else we've just talked about. This is the inner game of communication. It's all about mastering the emotional intelligence that makes all the other pieces fall into place.
And this idea is, well, it's a profound shift in how you think. Instead of trying to drag someone over to your point of view, you first have to level down and see the world from where they're standing. The example of a mother and a child is perfect. From her height, she just sees a tantrum. But when she kneels down to his level, she sees a scary forest of legs. Only then can she understand his fear and actually connect.
Now, what about when you need to be firm? Here's a great tool for that. It's called the broken record technique. Instead of getting angry or defensive when things get tense, you just calmly repeat your main point. No extra insults, no raising your voice. This is pure emotional intelligence in action. You're controlling your own response to de-escalate the conflict while still holding your ground.
And that brings us right here, to the very peak. This is what it's all about. Emotional intelligence. It really is the ultimate skill that brings everything else we've talked about into harmony. It boils down to this: managing your own feelings so that you can better understand and connect with the feelings of other people. And really, this all comes down to one simple question you can ask yourself. Are you reacting or are you responding? See, reacting is instant. It's that knee-jerk thing. You panic and you proceed based on pure assumption. But responding, that's intelligent. That's where the 4 Ps come in. You pause, you process what's actually happening, you plan your response, and only then do you proceed. That tiny little gap between the trigger and your action, that's where emotional intelligence is born. So there you have it, your complete communication pyramid. It all starts with that strong, silent foundation of body language. Then you build rapport with real, genuine connection. You learn to deliver your message with impact, and you tie it all together with the inner game of emotional intelligence. You master these 4 blocks, and you've got yourself an incredibly powerful and complete skill set. So now the question is for you. You have the blueprint. What's the first block you're going to start working on? Which one of these areas could make the biggest difference for you starting today? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. We really hope it helps you build stronger, more meaningful connections in every single part of your life.